If you had the ability to instantly give any person an orgasm, simply by pointing your hand at them like a finger gun and saying, "Pew," how would you wield this power? Assuming all the orgasm ever needs to do is see and hear the finger guns. I'm getting on TV. Oh hey. Local TV station. Your viewers are about to have an awesome day. It starts small, but quickly spreads to regional and then national affiliates as the footage is linked to a spike in visits from elderly citizens with heart conditions. By the end of the week, my first fingerbang is the highest viewed video on Pornhub. CNN runs a story warning of the danger of such power and questions whether I am a friend or foe. I spend some time on the run from the same scientists that sought ET for a time back in the 80s. I'm careful with my power now. But now and again I have to fingerbang someone into submission just to escape. My exile from the real world is made worse when trolls across the internet use my first newscast as a new kind of rickroll. uBlock Origin creates a specialized widget that censors my figner blasting so that offices and schools can return to some kind of normalcy. A public health crisis is declared. Desperate for peace, I fingerblast myself. The euphoria lasts for 30 minutes. I'd pull a Tobey Maguire on a crowded street edit. This is the comment? ... This is the duckin' comment? Oh lord.
With total irresponsibility. Clarification. Do I need to be physically near the person or are we working with Death Note rules? And I can do so just by seeing someone on TV? Because if it's the latter, the next Olympics is gonna be hilariously entertaining.
Point to myself. My new greeting is the double finger gun and a pew pew pew. I'm gonna make it fun to go to the opera again.
Rob a bank and immediately neutralize the guards and tellers. Pew pew pew. So anyways, I start blastin'.
I would say, hands up or have an orgasm. They'd be confused and I'd repeat the line again, and if they didn't put their hands up I'd give them an orgasm. The coronavirus pandemic would be the least of the world's concerns. When I'm in a heated confrontation with someone, I'll just use it and I'll instantly be at an advantage. Either that or I'll be forced to use it if I struggle in the bedroom. Anytime a cop pulls me over. Of course. Sir. Do you know why I pulled you over? No sir. Not at all. Points. Well you.mmm. I don't either. You can go now. Quickly runs to his car. I would go to every political rally I could. Laughing face. I'd go to as many sporting events as possible. Bet on the underdog and cause the other team to lose at every possible chance of scoring. I would dress as my favorite hero, Orgasmo, and make a makeshift arm cannon similar to Mega Man and call it the Orgasmo Ray. Edit. Thank you for my very first gold. Edit spelling.
Look out Walmart.
I'd use it to condition people to be aroused by inanimate objects. Every time my enemy went to the fridge. Pew pew. Guy cuts me off in traffic and now every time a car honks he gets turned on.
I'd probably make a YouTube video that's just a quick 15 seconds of me pointing right at the camera and letting out a rapid fire pew 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 and then post the video Rick roll style so that anyone thinking they're going to open up a relevant link is treated to an wholly unexpected and more than likely inconvenient orgasm. Once that catches on, my work is done, although I'll still use my powers for good. And I'm going to enjoy seeing people on trains, in meetings, at events, and wherever on their phones and then suddenly sloshing their shorts because of my jizz roll video. As the years go by, the jizz roll will become more and more ubiquitous in society, and I'm sure many a folk will take the necessary precautions to splat-proof their nether garments with rubber undies or quick-release valves. I mean, surely it won't just be the boys constantly creaming their cargoes. Surely the ladies will be super soaking their sliz snugglers and need to wear some manner of sex-grade diaper or possibly just go full skirt and let the drips drops where they may. Yes. The world at large will be hot and humid with the musk of human sexual excretion. Unlike the Rick roll, the jizz roll will turn into something you want to sit though each and every time, and the negative stigma of openly slinging goo or gushing drool will be gone. Thanks to me. The world will be in a near-constant state of blissful relief and post-nut clarity. I suspect the world will make huge strides in technological advancements, as well as find unity among races and religions. Civil strife will be a thing of the past when you watch a jizz roll and let your stuff blast. Oh sure. Even in my old age, people will want my celebrity for personal hire. Some may call them masochists. But I see these elites rich enough to afford an in-person pewing as just regular folk trying to ascend to a sexual nirvana. I'd pin them against the wall. Or they would do so themselves, as their legs won't be doing them much good for much long. As I relentlessly pew them into oblivion. I'd pew them stupid if that's what they want. I'd pew them until their genitals are tender and throbbing from overuse. Bright red like a piece of steel hammered hot by a master blacksmith. As they sit there, blathering incoherently, giggling and lost on a different plane of conscious existence. I'll shoot 'em one more pew for the road. If they die, they die. That's what I was hired for, and that's the power I've been blessed with.
How hard do you reckon it is to become the Pope? No matter what. It would be worth it to walk out onto that balcony and address the masses with a single pew. Shoot myself in the mirror. I would keep the power a secret until I saw my wife have an exceptionally hard day. I'd make her dinner. Something new. And on her first bite, pew pew. Then, after dinner, I'd run her a bath and use those relaxing eye cover things that girls like. Play some soft music. Pew pew. Then I'd give her a massage. Feet first. Pew pew. Then her shoulders. Pew pew. Then after that, offer her a glass of wine, and after we've inevitably drank half a bottle each, we'd move to the bedroom, and once she lays down, I'd give her a double pew pew. At that point she'd be relaxed, exhausted, and pass out. Then I could finally make some progress in BioShock on the Switch. Open my business where people pay me for orgasm, and then I will monopolize orgasms in the whole world if someone stands on my way. He will come. Then I will dance something like this for my clients who will buy orgasm with cashback, yeah. My dating life would improve drastically then again. One date would be a drastic improvement.
Bro, my finger gun would be more like a finger machine gun.
I would probably call my friends to my home, all men, and say to one of them, "Hey, wanna come?" Then I point my finger to he and say, "Pew." Now he is confused and everybody is laughing. The crisp morning air is cut with distant sounds of traffic and the hustle of the city. Aboard the docked USS Arizona, the crowd is settling into their seats below flags, flowers, and the headshot of the leading presidential candidate. The camera tracks a seagull past the ship, through the docks, and to a high-rise building where I slip past security with a briefcase. When the elevator door closes, I shed my street clothes and reveal a skin-tight black catsuit. Opening a hatch atop the elevator, I toss up the briefcase and gracefully pull myself through it. As the elevator continues to climb, I put on sunglasses and a ripoff of the Mission Impossible theme swells. I sneak through elevator shafts and drop into a penthouse apartment in the top floor overlooking the bay. Thousands of yards below, a security detail prepares to bring out the president. As he slowly walks up the ramp to the podium, I take aim with my finger gun, pretending to turn dials and making clicking noises with my mouth. I imagine crosshairs being lowered right on his heart as the crowd erupts in cheers. As I take a deep breath, the camera flips to a frontal shot of the podium. As the president begins to speak, pew. When someone cuts me off in traffic, they're gonna jizz blood. Can I say bingo bongo instead?
Shoot my friends in class. Finally get my girlfriend off.
I would go back to school to become a therapist specializing in sex and sexuality, and use this power as part of the healing process for clients who have difficulty experiencing sexual pleasure due to sexual or psychological trauma, abuse, etc. Find some way to get on TV. Maybe the background of a local news report. Point at the camera. Then fire. Instead of pew, I would PE. And stop so they couldn't orgasm. Multiple times. Then finally let it rip with a pew to finish them off.
Point at individual people and say pew, pew, Pew repeatedly until they are overwhelmed and collapse, faint. If I really don't like them, keep going after they have collapsed to see if I can cause heart attack, stroke, or other damage.
Definitely would get a Pavlov thing going with anyone I had a crush on. TV news shows just got a lot more interesting. Assuming I could point to them on the TV screen and it works.
They should make a movie about this.
I would go full Gendo Ikari. The human ORGASMENTALITY project is go. Giant screens everywhere in the world. A simultaneous broadcast along all places. All nations. Pointing my hand at them and saying pew. The whole world melting in a collective orgasm that turns everyone into red goo. And peace will be attained. So anyway. I started blasting.
Presidential debates would get a whole lot more interesting.
Chaos. Irresponsibly. I'd point at myself constantly. I've never had one and would like to know what they're like.
So I've seriously contemplated this a few years ago, minus the finger guns. As my villainous superpower. My name would be Orgasmo, the villain everyone loves to hate. Convulsed in undulations of tortuous ecstasy, Superman realized for the first time he'd never truly lost control. Face with hand over mouth edit. Grammar. Party tricks to win easy cash off of. Did you watch Bruce Almighty recently?
Let's just say, my teachers will be fired.
I feel like doing this without the person's consent is like sexual assault, so I would sell my services. Start cheap until I develop some serious name recognition, then target mostly wealthy women who have difficulty orgasming normally. I'd be like a drug with my rates increasing with demand since supply is limited.